Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joy of Stampin' with Rachel. I'm Rachel Kuhn, and today I'm sharing with you my card class club cards using the Child is Born, A Child is Born stamp set. This is an amazing Christmas spiritual stamp set. I tend to get at least one each year to add to my collection, and I love these images that we have on this one. These were all designed by my friend Linda Day. So if you like these and want the PDF, so you can send me an email using in the description below. You'll find my email address, and you can send me the information that you would like it, and then I'll send you an invoice for that PDF. This class is already over as far as signing up for it, and those who've already gotten that kit. And this video is for them so that they can learn the tricks and tips of how to make these cards. All right, let me go ahead and show you each card and the little bit of differences between each one. So this is one of my favorites. This one we did some heat embossing on, and then we used a tear technique. We also have some amazing vellum we've added, which came back just, I think, for the season. And then we have this amazing glimmer paper in that secret sea color there. So gorgeous, gorgeous design on that one. Here we have this one where we just used some of that image, not the whole image, stamped on a die cut. And then we have that beautiful glimmer paper right there that brings a really awesome shine. Next, we have this really fun fold where we've gone away from just that nativity scene of Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus, and we just have an empty manger now with a star above. For unto us a child is born. So that's the easy, fun fold there. That's just gorgeous. And lastly, we are using some of our stamping blends to color, and then we did a fussy cut. There are no dies with this stamp set, so everything that we did, we either fussy cut or ripped or did some sort of cutting around with a die cut for it. All right, let's go ahead and set these aside. And we'll get started with our first card, which is that tear technique. For the sake of time, I will not do the heat embossing, and mine is actually gold. In the PDF, it says copper, so you may pick which one you want to do. Let's grab the crumb cake card base for this one. And in yours, club members will need to go ahead and cut out their DSP and do all their stamping for this one. So I have my DSP, my vellum, my glimmer paper, and I just need to do a little bit of stamping because I already have my awesome heat embossed with the gold there. Oh, look at that shine. That's so pretty, so fancy. And I'll show you how to rip that in just a second. And then this is our mat we're going to use as well. So set that aside and let's get our stamping in. Grabbing my foam mat, I have my crumb cake, and we're going to use the Oh Holy Night, and we're using the Secret Sea is the ink of choice for this one. Set that aside, opening the lid. There we go. I love to do practice stamping, so let me grab a Post-it note, do a quick try. Looks good. All right, ink it up, and then just go center on that crumb cake, and then we'll do some trimming. Looks great. Close up that ink because we are done with that one. And then we're going to take our paper snip since we have this one already ready. And we're just going to angle both of it on the right from the bottom to the top on this side. Then the left side, same thing, going at an angle and just trimming it down a little bit. Nice. All right. Let's go ahead and show you how to do the tearing on this one. So I always like to cut it down so it's a little bit smaller to work with. And then you're going to first start by ripping down to get started. And then we're going to rip up the rest of the way. I use my thumb over the stamped embossed image as a shield or guide. So I know that I'm not going to rip it too far. But we're going to do a rip up around here. If you feel like you're getting too nervous, you may start pulling it off and creating some space that way. Using my thumb again as a guide so I don't accidentally rip that image, but I do want to get fairly close so we're not creating too much white space around it. Nice. Again, my thumb is the guide. It's protecting that image there. Moving along as I'm pulling up. When I started, I rip down, but when I'm ripping it, I rip up. I just like the way that rip, and it's easier for me to do. There is a difference. So I'm starting down, but then I rip up. There is a difference of how it looks. So if you like the rip down better, by all means, go ahead and do the rip down. Going around, we're doing pretty good. Nice, protecting Mary's hair. Ooh, that got close. There we go. And then I'm not gonna go too far down in between those spots. So I'm gonna start ripping her up and around our Joseph. And then I'm going to start on this side to make it easier for me to rip. And then just kind of meeting right there. Oh, close one. Nice. And then final rip on that top. And there you go. A nicely ripped nativity scene there. Doesn't that give like a fun kind of different texture to it? I'm just in love with this technique here. Super simple too. All right, let's go ahead and start gluing on our DSP panels. On the PDF, it does have a different layout or different DSP choices. So it's totally up to you which one of these design series paper you want to use. I think she had it where it was this one, and this one. But I liked mine to have just one of that secret seat color. And then I have this more of this neutral color on this side as well. I feel like it brings a focus to the center by having that dark color there. All right, let's go ahead and first use some liquid glue on the back of one of our DSPs. After you've chosen which one to use, then I'm going to carefully just place it on my basic white, creating an outline on both top and bottom. Then I'm going to skip that middle. We'll come back to that one and do my other side. You may use that middle panel piece as a guide so you can try to line it up together on the other side. So I'm going to use this guy right here, so that's where it should be. And if I place it down the first time wrong, it's okay, it's liquid glue. I have a little bit of wiggle room. Pressing down, looking pretty good. Flipping this one over, liquid glue on the back. When I first made my sample card for this one, I totally forgot the vellum. So I'm saying it out loud right now, so I don't forget to do that. And I had to remove, take off the dimensionals carefully from our cute little guys here. So make sure you're not like that and get your vellum on right now. That's the next step. You can use either glue dots. What I did was just put some liquid glue in the center where it's going to be covered, and the rest of the items will help weigh it down. Vellum is see-through, so I want to make sure I'm not having glue that you can see through, because that kind of ruins the whole magic of vellum. So only in the center. Try to make sure it's leveled out. Wiggle a little bit. There we go. Then we're going to flip this over, our cute little family, and add dimensionals to the back. So we want them on all of the crucial areas around the border, on that little staff, and following along. And then one more in the center. Remove the backings. Again, this is to help secure that vellum. So I'm putting a lot on so that way it will lay nicer as well. Go. Do a quick flip and attach. Nice. So the staff's going to come off just a little bit of the vellum, but the rest of it should stay mostly on. All right, let's go ahead and attach this to our card base before we add too much more layers. And this I just use liquid glue for on the back. Put that right in here. Nice. Border on all 4 sides. You'll notice it'll be thicker on the sides and then skinnier on the tops. So not exact dimensions there to make a perfect rectangle. Then we're going to go ahead and add our glimmer piece. We're going to put a dimensional on back of just one of the sides so that it gets level with our nativity scene, and a liquid glue on the other side. And then I'm going to place it so that's coming off of our DSP and our basic white, and on, even over on that crumb cake just a little bit. Grabbing liquid glue, putting it on the bottom of our Oh Holy Night. And then we're going to put it half on that glimmer tape paper, like so. There we go, let it dry. We use liquid glue, and then we're gonna grab 2 embellishments from this amazing, I would never have thought Christmas with these ones. They're called the Hues of Blue Flowers. We have 4 different shades, white, and then 3 different shades of blue. We're gonna use the darkest one, which is that Secret C. And we're gonna grab a large one with our paper snips carefully. Maybe, there we go. And we're gonna go close to Mary, and then one little bit below where we place that one to an angle in that corner there. Ooh, look how pretty that is. Such a pretty, but like really easy card. We did do some heat embossing that takes some time and some extra tools, but for the most part, I'm loving this layout here. All right, let's go ahead and go on to our next card. We'll set this one aside, and we are going to do this easy one. I love this one because we're focusing mostly on these dies here, and we're not doing any crazy techniques with our image. It's very clean and ready to go. So let me grab our Secret C card base. That'll be the darker of the blues, like so. And we'll grab this so we get ready to stamp that one and this one, and the rest of it will be, we're gonna stamp our basic white as well. And our card base actually, so a lot we're stamping. Set the pieces we're not stamping aside. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get our foam mat back in. And we're going to stamp on our card base here. I'll get nice and ready. Well, that'll be our first one. We're using the same color for each item we're stamping, so that makes it easy. Secret C. And we're going to go ahead and ink up the star patch. So in this one, there are 2 clusters of stars. One has like a large star in it, and one's just stars. We're gonna find our just stars cluster. Let's see if I, still have it inside. Grabbing a clear block. Just stars, not the big star. And we're just going to do some stamping along this edge here on the far right. So not by the score line, but just down where that paper will open up later. And just creating a fun little border and turning it so it looks a little bit different. You could do some stamping off if you want some of it to be a little bit lighter. I'm trying to make it fit all kind of together. It's funny, that middle section won't be seen. It'll be behind that DSP. So you could skip that side if you want completely. There we go, very simple. Clean this one off real quick. Nice. And then let's go ahead and set that aside and stamp our Oh Come Let Us Adore Him. And let's find that one. Awesome. Oh Come Let Us Adore Him. Again, I'm going to do a quick practice. We'll have all of our sayings right here in just a second. Ink it, press it, looks good. This one we're going to come a little bit more to the left because we're going to do some bannering on that far right. Nice. And lastly, let's go ahead and stamp on our basic whites. So we have one that we're going to need a piece of paper underneath. Grab my grid sheet here. There we go. And then we're going to grab our large, this one's huge, check this out. It's hard to see, there we go. This huge, huge nativity scene. I have it on my F block, that's how giant it is. And we're going to ink it up the top half of it. The bottom won't be on it, so you don't have to ink that if you don't want, but you can. And then we're going to flip it carefully and hover it over. And the staff will be missing, but we definitely want Mary, Joseph's hand, and baby Jesus. Leaving some headspace above it. Some of that white space there. Ooh, that looks really good. We do a quick clean, so it's ready for the next time we use it. Super cute. Nice. Set that one aside. And then grab our basic white for the inside. Since it's Secret C, it's our card base. That's really dark. We do need to put basic white at the inside. I'm doing just a little cute little sheep friend here, a little lamb, which could be cute and also very symbolic when it comes to Christmas and Jesus. So that's a fun one. All right, now we should be ready to assemble. I did notice that I did not use my paper snips originally and poke out all these extra pieces. So if you didn't do that, this is your tip to do it now. Grab your paper snips, and I just poke, and then I go on the back and I kind of just do like a brush off. Some of them come out automatically when we die cut it, but then other parts don't. And so, but they're just there hanging loosely. Nice. All the way around. This is from not the Stylish Shapes. Those are one of my favorite popular dies, but this one's called Spotlight on Nature dies, which had like these fun images with it, but mostly the dies in that bundle are amazing. Check out that detail. Oh, so pretty. So we die cut that and our giant piece of this Glimmer paper. Oh my goodness. This is in the shade of, let's see. I don't want to tell you wrong. So there's three different colors with this one. It says blue, dark gray, and soft green. So maybe that's the soft green color. Just gorgeous, just gorgeous. Go ahead and flip that over, put some liquid glue on the back, and we're going to attach it to our Glimmer paper here. Gorgeous. You feel like that's not going to set well because Glimmer paper is hard to add adhesive to. Just put something like a giant clear block on top of it and you should be good to go. While we're doing that, we can go ahead and glue in the inside of our basic white. A little bit of Stampin' Still Plus on each corner and in the center. Flip it and stick it. I'll set that aside and get that back in view. There we go. Nice. Closing it up, grabbing our DSP. You can choose which side you like. Ooh. I think I'm going to switch it up. I think I'm going to use this side now. Before, we did more of like a foliage area, which has like the blueberries, which is also really, really pretty. But I'm liking that lighter shade as well. It goes great with the cloud cover that we have right there. You don't want this completely center, so we're going to go a little bit, drop it below center, so it's more on the top, less on the bottom of space being seen. And then this should be dry, so we're going to flip it over, add our dimensionals to the back. Oh, that's funny. This one was not supposed to be there, and it's been hanging out there the whole time. This random sequin from another project. I was like, that's an odd spot for that guy. Oh no, he's not supposed to be there. He wasn't a part of the original plan. I wonder how long he's been hanging out there for, and I just barely noticed. This is a large circle. Make sure you put a good amount of dimensionals on here. Go ahead and place it in the center of that designer series paper. We grab our "Oh Come Let Us Adore Him" and your paper snips. And we're going to go ahead and flag the end. The way that I like to do it is just go one center small snip and then come from one edge corner to the center and edge corner to the center, like so. And create a cute little banner. Again, we're going to use that dimensional trick on this one because some of it's on our image and some is not. So we'll grab a dimensional, put it on that banner side, and then we'll put a little bit of liquid glue or a glue dot on the other side that has no adhesive so that it can still attach as well. And we're going to come just a little bit above our circle line here. On this one, I went a little higher up on it, but I do like having that continuous and just a tiny gap here for that guy, for that die image. All right, let's lastly grab those embellishments. And we're using the white ones now. These are like a floral image. So it's so, like I said, so fun that we're using it for Christmas. Who would have thunk? White, large white above, and then two of the smaller ones to the left and right of it. Left and right, kind of like that. Then below we'll make one large one, so a total of 5 is what we'll have. Large first, and then coming at an angle, we'll have that small one below and down at a slant. And there we go. Look at that beautiful card. So much glimmer. Oh my goodness. Oh, come let us adore him. And then we have that cute little sheep peekaboo in the inside. Love, love that one. You guys will have to let me know which DSP you like better on that one, the left or the right. Both are fantastic. All right, let's keep on going to our next card. Let's set those ones aside and let's do the fun fold. All right, I'm gonna keep out our Secret C ink. I know I didn't close that, which made me nervous, but we will keep on going. And let's grab the piece for this one. Is going to be a fun fold with a Misty Moonlight. Okay, you should have a small piece for your Manger, then you'll have a Misty Moonlight for your mat, and then you will need to cut your own designer series paper, and then that white for the inside. You also should have a nice die cut star as well. Let me go ahead and put the pieces of paper we don't need to stamp to the side, and we'll get those stamping items done first. Okay. And this guy. Here we go. So what we're going to do is first stamp the For Unto Us a Child is Born. If I can find it. Got it. Do a practice with that one. Nice. Oh, let me get that ink back in. And we'll just move this up. There we go. That looks pretty good. So we're going to trust ourselves and go for it. Bottom of this rectangle basic white, For Unto Us a Child is Born. Nice. And then we're going to grab the stamp with the big star this time. So last time we had the cluster, which we'll use that one too. There's that big star we'll place right there. We're going to ink that up. And that Secret C, and put it on the top of that rectangle we stamped our greeting on. Really nice. Okay, that's all of this color, so put this one away. The next one will be in our Pecan Pie ink with our Manger. We're going to go ahead and we're going to ink that up and stamp. We'll let that dry for a minute and then we'll color it and then fussy cut that out. This last one, this one is the trickiest part for me. Well, just mostly time consuming. We do not have, as far as I know, still a functioning cloud cover ink. And so what I've been using when I want to use this color to ink, as I have our old retired Stampin' Right. There might still be some of these. I'm not sure. We'll have to double check if there's still any in stock. The Stampin' Right markers. So I'm going to grab that star from earlier, the cluster star, with just the, no big stars, just the cluster. And I'm going to color on top of the stamp here with that big brush on that Stampin' Right marker. This used to be one of my favorite type of techniques, but I used to do this a lot with the rubber, and I don't usually do it with the photopolymer, just because I feel like it's a little bit harder to color. All right, we'll keep it going. And we're just doing a border on that basic white on that far right side. Ink and stamp. So this one's just time consuming because it's just over and over again until we get to the very bottom. I flipped it over so it's a little different pattern. And going down the line, like so. Also, it's tricky because it doesn't have exactly the same ink on each one. So some parts of it might be lighter, some might be darker, but it still has that really cool look to it. So we'll just keep on going. Nice. This should be our last one. Let's angle it that way. Awesome. We've created a cool banner. Or a border, I should say. Put that Stampin' Right marker away, and let's go ahead and do our coloring for our manger. And then we can fussy cut that out. All right, for this one, we're just using the pecan pie and crumb cake. I'm using the light crumb cake and that big brush. Make sure, oh, I grabbed the dark. It's like, wait a minute, that does not look light. Here we go. I think that's, all right. I just grabbed a new set and I need to throw away my old one. So this should be my, ooh, nice, perfect one. Let's do a quick little practice. It's hard to see on the orange, but it should be good. Here we go. Our light crumb cake for the hay part of it. And it comes off darker when we first color it in, so don't worry, it will dry slightly different. That's the beauty of stamping blends. They are alcohol based. And since we let that ink dry, that pecan pie, coloring this is super easy. Okay. You add more shading to that if you want, or keep on going. I'm going to keep on going with our pecan pie. And I'm using pecan pie light for our stamping blend. Again, the brush tip. Carefully go over those little legs with just the tip of that brush. You can use the other nub side too if you want, but I'm just too lazy to switch it over right now. Okay. And you can move your image so it's easier for you to color. There we go. Going over it once. Now I want some extra shading. I can go and put them on the sides here or wherever you think there might be some darker lights. Nice. An empty manger. Now grab your paper snips and we're gonna do some fussy cutting. There are two kinds of people, those who like fussy cutting and those who do not. I am one that I don't mind it. Sometimes it seems like it could be tedious, but once you know how to do it, it's not that bad. The secret is to move the paper and not the scissors. So my scissors should be pointing away from me the whole time. Never once do I need to make a weird claw shape with my hand and have it like facing towards me with the scissors. So the paper is what's turning, not the scissors. Cut off some of the extra. The nice thing about this is if I don't color in the lines perfectly, I can just cut it off. There we go. Looking good. Rotating the paper. Ooh, look at that. Nice, smooth transition there. Perfect. All right. Let's go ahead and start our assembling of our card now. Grabbing our Misty Moonlight mat. Actually, pause. We have to grab our beautiful ribbon. So my club members got just a sample of this ribbon and not the whole spool, but it is beautiful. It is in the Misty Moonlight color and it's called, all the different languages, Silver Edge Ribbon. So it's Misty Moonlight with that little bit of silver trim to it. It's so fun. And for this one, we are going to wrap it around the back side and just make a knot bow. So I'm guesstimating about this much. I think there's an actual number in the PDF. Let me do a quick test just in case there's not. About 8 inches. 8 inches of ribbon. If you wear a measure, then we're going to grab both ends and just make a knot bow. My favorite kind of bow. Especially with like thick ribbon like this, it's hard to make like a bow with bunny ears and have it be absolutely perfect. So the knot bow I feel like is super forgiving as long as I can grab it through. There we go. And a knot bow like that. Just need to trim the edges, add a slant one way and the other. One second as I do that final trim. There we go. Okay. Nice. Now we're going to liquid glue this to our our Misty Moonlight. Nice. And get that securely on. While this is drying, we'll go ahead and add our DSP to our card front. Right here. You'll notice it looks like it's missing some. That's on purpose to create that cool, fun fold. A little less paper. But oh my goodness, I always called myself Miss Rachel. I am a teacher by day of music, and so I refer to myself often as Miss Rachel when I'm there. I use this piece right here, and then I had a little extra. So that's your tip of how to save paper, not waste it, and just have that tiny piece left over from that one. All right, let's go ahead and glue our liquid glue onto this side of our card front. Placing it on there, creating borders on all 4 sides. Looking good. Then for this one, I like to add dimensionals on only one side. If you want to just do liquid glue on that side and stick it down, you totally can. I just like a little bit of pop to it. There we go. And placing that so that way it's about the halfway point on the left side here. Looking good. I should have done this one first, so that's up to you if you want to switch your timing on, or when you do it, so you have a better look of what that would look like, of how we stamped it earlier. But I'm trusting myself, it'll be fine. Basic white to the inside. Using my hands as a guide to place it down carefully, creating those borders and closing it up. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. Nice. Dimensionals on the back of our manger as well. And then we need a dimensional on the back of our die cut. This is a retired die from a star set I have. So my kit friends, you're lucky that you got that one. There are other dies you can use that would create that star currently. So you just need to search our website with looking for the word star. So that one, I just cut it dimensional. I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller even than that, like half a dimensional. So we don't want that to show through. Remove the backing, add that over that big star. We probably could have gone away with that cluster of stars instead, huh? No, we like that big star one. 2, remove the dimensionals and put that stable right under that star. So, so cute. Oh my goodness, loving it. Lastly, we just need to embellish. So this time we're using the lighter shade of these flowers here with our paper snips. And we're just going to have 2 small and 1 large. It's like that lighter shade of blue. Matches our cloud cover. And I'm going to have one going above on the top here. And then the second small one's going to go far over to the left. A little bit below the manger though, not lining it up perfectly. And then that large one is going to come down to the bottom and it's going to shimmy more into the middle. So here's this one. I'm going to come down, avoid that guy, and place it right about here. Nice. Let's get close up so you can see all that beauty. So pretty. Have the embellishment on the inside and the front. Love, love that design of this one fold. Our last one, you guys ready? We're going to do some more coloring with our Stampin' Blends. Let me set that one aside. This one has a very basic front look to it because we're just using designer series paper and we have that star, super easy to die cut that out. We did use some more glimmer paper to be the background of our basic white tag we're making, and I did go ahead and I stamped and fussy cut because I thought this would take me forever. That's in pecan pie. Look how cool that looks. Kind of gives almost like a gold look, similar to our heat emboss that we had. And then this is our mats. We'll get to those in just a second. Oh, and don't lose my star. All right, let's go ahead and do the stamping of our greeting. All is calm, all is bright. And I don't think found it. Found it. And that one we have also in the, not in the Secrecy, but we're going to grab our Misty Moonlight. Adding a new ink color. So this one only took 3 inks, 4 if you include the Versamark. But for the most part, it's not too many different ink pads you'll need for this one. Oh, nice. Make sure my all is a little bit darker. There There we go. This one we're going to go to the far right edge this time. And line up and stamp and lift up. Beautiful. And that's all the stamping that I need to do for this one right now because we're going to get ready to color. Since I have this one handy, let me go ahead and just flag this end. We're going to do center cut, little snip, and then our edge to the center and our edge to the center, or corner. Nice. So we do the same thing to our glimmer paper. I'm going to do a little paper snip right here and cut to the center from the edge, cut from the center from the edge. And there we go. Nice. We'll go ahead and glue that on so it gives it a minute to adhere while we color. Oh, I got a little bit on the back side. And place it so that way there's top and bottom of that glimmer and it's going all the way to that edge on this side here. Like so. Set that aside, we'll let it dry, and let's color. Okay, this one is super fun and very like, if you are a coloring person, you will love this card then, because we're gonna do some fun coloring. I could not find my light petal pink, so I have a dark petal pink. That's okay, it looks just as fine. Or if you have one of our ivory tones or skin tones, you can use that as well. We're just gonna go ahead with our brush tip, and I'm gonna color in their faceless faces. No, they have a face, just no eyes or nose or ears. Well, maybe ears. Yeah, we have ears. And their hands. So we'll do Mary first, and then we'll go over to Joseph, and we'll get his face. Mary did baby Jesus. His was easy, just that little circle. We'll get that ear right there, and his hand there. Let me double check. That looks like all of that color. Nice. Then we're going to go ahead and grab our crumb cake light again, and we're going to color in their hair. So, and their beard. So we'll go over his little beard here. Making sure, yeah, that's light. Ooh, actually, did I use? That light looks like Joseph is really old. He's not an old dad. So let me see what color I have on the tutorial. Maybe it is pecan pie. I believe so. All right, we're gonna pecan pie their hair. We have the light pecan pie, so that works. We'll just go over what we already colored and color in his beard again. There we go. Fixed it. Got his hair colored. He was going gray for a minute there, it looked like. And just going over it once. If you want to add more color to it, you can just go over it a little bit more and creates a fun shading. All right, here's Mary's hair. Beautiful. Just following these waves along that. I did the outline first, and then I'm coloring it in, and I'm gonna go back over on this back side of her crown here. So creating just a little bit more coloring here. Give some lighting or depth to that hair. Next we have Cloud Cover in our light shade. This one here for our Stampin' Blend. Open again the brush tip. Oh, set that down. I forgot a piece of her hair. She hid it. Pecan pie light going back in, and it's just underneath her chin. So don't forget that one. It's hard to see until you look again. Nice. That should be all of that one, hopefully. And then we'll go ahead and color her dress with that Cloud Cover light. You may use some dark over as well. Going around the outline and then coloring it in a up and down motion. And coloring it in. Nice. Make sure we're Careful, we're not getting baby Jesus yet. He's going to be crumb cake here in just a minute. So avoid his swaddling clothes. We'll get her sleeves in. Creating some depth again by going over it twice. So that same color. Again, if you love coloring, grab that other marker in here. Create some more shading. I'm going to keep this one simple and just use the light over the light. And we'll grab a little bit more dark again on her knees here. Nice. Okay. Now let's go to baby Jesus. We have that light crumb cake. And lightly color his in as well. You can always use different colors. These are just the ones that Linda and I suggest. But you can use the colors that you currently have as well. Nice. So pretty. Lastly, we're going to color in Joseph's robe with the light misty moonlight. And going around the outside. This one looks so dark at first, so don't let it scare you. But just be careful because I went a little bit over right there. Know where your lines are for this robe here. Okay, following my outline, keeping that center hopefully white. Kind of the outline of this. Oh, and I forgot to do his staff. Come back to that just a second. Going around, his robe is behind the staff. And I'm going to go an up and down motion for this top half. And come down to his legs and his foot that's on the other half of that staff. And just an up and down. Okay. Now, this is where we could take this and get some darker spots. I'm going to go darker on the top here. And then have that lighter second half there. Using that same color. It'll dry a little bit lighter, but you guys get the idea. Get him to do some on his shoulder over here. Nice. You could also add some to his knee down here, where that fabric's going to be a little bit different. It's gathering, and to where his feet are. Nice. Okay. Grabbing my pecan pie again, the one that keeps on getting forgotten. And let's just color that staff. I'm using just that nub side. Going up the staff. There we go. Nice. All right, we're ready to start attaching this. I'm going to go ahead and just flip it over and put my dimensionals on the back. You can see that it's alcohol based. Once we flip it over, you can see how it can bleed through. So definitely be mindful of that in your space that you're working in. Nice. Liquid glue on the back of our DSP. I was debating, like, should I flip this one and have like those doves behind it? What do we think? Let's take a quick look. Ooh. Let's do it. Let's change it because we like to make things different. By just switching our DSP. Super easy way to change it up. Debated it for a hot minute. Or maybe a hot second. Adding that to that basic white and laying flat. Flipping that over. Adding liquid glue again to the back of this one. Adding it to a card front of our Misty Moonlight. Creating spots all over. And then removing the dimensionals off the backing of our people here. Almost there. Flip it and place it down. Oh, so pretty. Okay, grabbing. I think I put dimensionals. Let me do a quick look. Yeah, on the bottom of this one. So not the top. It's gonna be on the top side now, so don't let that confuse you. When I flip it, I put that. Switch the top to the bottom like so. And then make sure I get one on that far that straight end there, because that's going to come over where there's no dimensionals. Okay. Placing that over. Pretty. And then we're going to grab, I could have lowered that down just a little bit because you see how that's kind of flipping up. That's okay. This one's a little bit lower, so it's not on the actual piece as much. Okay, let's find a small dimensional, or we even have some mini ones right here. Save me from cutting, and put that on the back of our star. Oh, pretty. Above kind of Mary, because she's holding baby Jesus. And then we just need a couple embellishments, which we're using those white ones again and putting it below our greeting here. It's a little bit easier to see on that one because of this DSP is a little bit more busy. But I still think it's nice to put it on. White and, oh, I think I dropped that one. That's okay. Maybe I dropped it right back where I found it. And there we go. And there you have it. So, so pretty. I love this one. What do we think of those doves behind it? Kind of like a, hey, Prince of Peace right there. Love it. Let's get all the cards back in view so you can see, and let me know which ones are your favorites. So we have our blends that we colored. We had a little bit of blends here and create that fun fold of that manger. We used some dies to create that fun focal point with that nativity look, and then we have this amazing tear technique with that embossing that we did on our nativity scene as well. All right, you guys, I hope you've learned something new, and I would love for you to join me next month for my card class club. We are focusing on the gingerbread man this time. That's this stamp set right here. You'll get 4 different card designs using this set. Super, super fun. You just have to make sure you join my club using the links in the description below by the 10th of November. All right, you guys, have a great day and happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.